Back to watching potatoes boil. Whee! Okay, and the broth is starting to boil. Let's get that back in the freezer. Refrigerator. I think we're gonna add a couple of celery sticks to this. Don't really want to add just cut them diagonally. Makes them look pretty when you cut them diagonally. I know I didn't show that. Bad me. Okay, and break them apart. We're all sticking together. Okay, put that right in. They have little strings on them, so they're sticking together. There's a chunk of meat in here from must have escaped, but this frozen is perfectly fine. So this is gonna be salmon soup with one piece of chicken. It's very exotic. See the balance of the chicken. One little piece of chicken. It sets off the salmon. That's the secret to salmon soup. Oh, and if we want now, I can put in my collard greens. So I'm gonna put that down to low. And the garlic and the butter will add a lot of flavor to this. And it's okay if the collard greens cook a little bit more, because they're really fibrous. It's not gonna really hurt it. You can see that cooled it down. So let's bring it back to a little bit of a boil. Oh. Nothing like the smell of soup. And let's get a plate out. I'm gonna flake. I'm gonna be a flake and flake my well, let's see something. Oh, look at this. See that? It's all starch, but we're gonna put the lid back on. So it's getting to now. You got salmon. You can, at the store they have the salmon in little packages. And this is something you want to do for a special occasion. This is a special occasion because this is from the Oregon coast and this is really yummy. We don't get this very often. So I wanted to make salmon soup tonight. There's kryptonite and then there's the other thing. There's soup tonight. Okay, so our soup now, as you can see, is boiling. Let's turn it down. And we're probably going to just use one of these because, as you know, salmon's really strong. So the rest of this is going to go back in the freezer. Just make sure there's no bones in it. This was smoked over a fire. So make sure you just kind of want to break it up real good because you want the salmonness to go through the soup. So that's what your salmon looks like after you handle it. It comes in a little slab. Okay, let's test our potatoes. I don't think they're done quite yet. What I suggest is always pick the biggest piece out And what you want to do is you want it, when you put the knife through it, the knife should go through it. There's al dente where it'll have a little crunch when you stick the knife through it. So the first thing is, if it crunches when you put the knife through it, that's al dente. And you can taste it. It's like it'll be crunchy still, and that's not what you want. So we're not into crunchy potatoes, so I need to cook a little bit longer. Okay, so this is boiling on low right now. We're going to turn it off. I'm going to put a lid on it. Okay, now as you can see, our potatoes are boiling at a rolling boil. So we're going to set the timer for about 2 minutes. And this time you can take the lid off because we don't want that to come over. Stir it. It's exciting watching potatoes boil, isn't it? And then let's get a soup bowl out. There's my lid. I just found a lid that was hiding in one of my bowls. So you can stick your impale one if you want, which is kind of considerably hard to do. So let's go back to the old method of digging one out. See if it's still crunchy. That seems a little bit better. Almost done. Yeah, real close. Now, if the beeper goes off and they're still al dente, it's okay to let them still cook a little bit longer. Use your judgment. If you get them out, the timer goes off, and they're like, well, wait a minute, they're still a little bit al dente because maybe you cut them a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger than I did. Just always test the food. The knife should go nice and cleanly through each of the little cubes without making a crunch. So let's get another big piece right here. Okay. Cut a little piece off. That's good. Okay. So, there you go. Let's assemble our soup. First, you grab a bowl, and we need a ladle, because I'm not going to dip my hand into the bowl. Here's my ladle, if you haven't met it yet. This is a German ladle, and it has a lot tapered handle, like this, and this right here. And let's see if I have my German one. Oh, not my German one, my other one. Well, I have another one, but it's a lot thicker. So let's see. What is it that when you're... Okay, well, I'm going to solve this here for a minute. Where did it go? Well, anyway, when doing soup, it's easier to hold because it's thinner. The other one's thicker, and it cuts into your fingers. So when you're looking for a ladle, look for something that has a very tapered handle. It's a lot easier on your fingers. Okay, back to assembling the soup. Take a bit of your, make some noise, take some of your potatoes, potatoes, there we go, out. Take a bit of your collard greens and your celery. What we're going to want to do, we're going to sprinkle that on top. And we're going to actually mix it in. Salmon is really strong, so when you mix it into the soup, it doesn't need to be cooked at all, because it'll basically permeate the soup, because maybe a little bit more on top for decoration. And there we go. Really simple meal, and I hope you can see it without me spilling it. So there we go. Simple soup. Doesn't have to be salmon. If you want to use some other type of fish, it can be another type of fish. So I hope you enjoyed watching the video, and see you later. Toodles!